Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into one of the coolest ideas in modern AI. We're talking about how these massive language models can learn brand new skills in just a few seconds, without any of that slow, traditional training. And trust me, it's a total game changer. So, let's start with a really big question, one that kind of gets to the heart of all this magic. Think about it. Can an AI really learn a completely new skill, like, instantly? The answer might not be what you think. And the answer is absolutely yes. The secret sauce is this powerful concept right here, in-context learning, or ICL for short. This is the model's incredible ability to learn on the fly, just by looking at the examples you feed it, inside a single prompt. You know, it doesn't have to go back to school or anything. The whole lesson is right there in the conversation.
Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, you can forget about all those long, super expensive training processes. No more complicated fine-tuning. With in-context learning, the AI just works right away. You're literally teaching it a new trick in the exact moment you need it. It is unbelievably efficient.
So how does this all actually work under the hood? Let's break it down by climbing what I like to call the learning ladder. We're going to start at the bottom with the simplest step and work our way up. All right, at the very bottom of the ladder, we have zero-shot learning. This is pretty much the most basic way you can interact with an AI. You just give it a direct command, no examples, no hints, and you're basically relying on the mountain of information it was already trained on to figure out what you want.
And for really common stuff like translating a simple sentence, as you can see here, it works great. But, and this is a big but, the second you ask it to do something a little more specialized or you need the output in a really specific format, zero-shot starts to fall apart. It just needs a bit more guidance.
So that brings us to the next rung on our ladder, one-shot learning. Now, instead of just barking an order, we give the AI one single example, just a little hint to nudge it in the right direction. And this example just perfectly shows how it works. By showing the model just one simple pattern, that the text "I hate the slow service" here corresponds to a negative label, we give it a powerful clue. It can then look at the next sentence, "This restaurant is amazing," and correctly figure out that the label should probably be positive. It's learning from just one single clue. But the real magic, the technique that really powers most of the incredible AI applications you see today, that happens when we give the model more than just one hint. It's like we're giving it a mini tutorial right inside the prompt itself. This is what we call few-shot learning. We're providing a handful of examples to show the model the exact pattern we want it to follow. And there's a reason everyone calls this the sweet spot. It gives you this massive boost in accuracy without you having to write a novel for your prompt. It's the best of both worlds. Just look at this structure. It's so elegant. We give it a couple of negative examples, a positive one, another negative one. Now the model doesn't just have one little clue. It has a really solid pattern to recognize. So when it sees "this app is brilliant," its guess is going to be way, way more reliable. Okay, so this next point is absolutely crucial to understand. Everything we've been talking about, this whole prompting thing, is fundamentally different from traditional AI training, which you'll often hear called fine-tuning. They might seem similar, but they are two completely different ways of getting the AI to do what you want. This table just lays it all out perfectly. Think of it this way. In-context learning is like giving a brilliant expert a cheat sheet for one specific test. They use it, ace the test, and then pretty much forget the details. It's short-term memory. Fine-tuning, on the other hand, is like sending that expert to medical school for 8 years. It is slow, it is expensive, but it permanently rewires their brain and turns them into a true specialist. That's long-term memory.
So which one should you actually use? Well, here's a great rule of thumb to go by. If your few-shot prompt starts turning into a giant wall of text, it might be time to think about fine-tuning. But it's also a strategic choice. If you need deep, unchanging expertise, like an AI that knows all of your company's HR policies inside and out, fine-tuning is probably the way to go. But if your task needs fresh, up-to-the-minute info, prompting is going to be way better.
All right, you've got the fundamentals down. 0, 1, and few-shot learning. So now, let's get into the really cool stuff. Let's look at 2 advanced techniques that take all of this to a whole other level. First up is this absolutely brilliant technique called chain of thought prompting. And the idea is so simple but so profound. Instead of just asking the AI for the final answer, you tell it to think step by step and show its work.
By forcing the model to actually spell out its reasoning, converting minutes to hours, before doing the multiplication, you drastically cut down on the chance of it making a silly mistake. It's like you're activating the more logical parts of its brain instead of letting it just jump to a quick and possibly wrong conclusion. This has been a massive breakthrough for things like logic puzzles and math problems.
Okay, the second pro technique is this incredible power combo. You start with a great few-shot prompt, but then you supercharge it by pairing it with something called RAG. That stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. This basically gives the model a library card, letting it search and pull in fresh information from an external source, like a database of all your company's internal documents.
And let me tell you, this combination is what's really revolutionizing how businesses use AI. Suddenly, you can build an expert chatbot that only answers questions based on your internal legal memos, or a customer service bot that can pull up a specific customer's order history in real time. It makes the AI incredibly powerful, but also specific and trustworthy.
So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it should be this. Few-shot learning isn't just some clever little trick. It's a fundamental bridge. It connects the pure simplicity of just asking a question with the deep power of creating a highly specialized, fine-tuned model. It's what makes all this sophisticated AI practical for pretty much everyone.
Which really just leaves us with one last thought. The power to teach an AI a brand new skill in a matter of seconds is basically at your fingertips. So the only question left is, what are you going to teach it first?